going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing wheel spacers. I actually have two different brand wheel spacers on my car at the moment, and I wanted to show you a little bit what's going on with the brand that I don't like so much and the brand that I do like. So the reason I'm taking these wheel spacers off is I am getting just the tiniest bit of rub on the rear right, and it took a while for my springs to settle in, but once they did, the rub is, it's very, very minimal. If I hit a bump big enough and I'm going fast enough, I will get a little bit of rub. So I decided that I'm going to remove the wheel spacers entirely because I am getting a tiny bit of rub up top. And I wanted to see how the car sits without wheel spacers now that I have it dropped. I actually haven't seen it since it's been dropped with wheel spacers. Before I had 15mm on, and now I have 12.5, and it's still rubbing. So we're just gonna take them off. So the fitment at the moment, it does poke out just a little bit. So I think the car will look good even without wheel spacers. These are 9.5-inch wheels on the back, so they're still thick and it'll still look meaty. They just won't protrude. And I think that that's a better look anyways. Also, when you put on spacers and the tires stick out a little bit, you're gonna end up getting rocks that are gonna fly into your rear bumper. And you can create chips, you can create blemishes, and we don't want to do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove the spacers, and hopefully it tucks in just a little bit more and we get rid of the rub. So the removal process is relatively easy. You're just taking the wheel off, and then the spacer just sits right behind the wheel. These ones in particular, the first reason I'm not a fan of these is they came with lug nuts that began to rust. And I'm not sure how easy that is for you guys to see, but these are completely rusted. And so what happens is you get an extremely ugly wheel. And they shouldn't be doing that. It's probably because it's a cheaper made product and it's not coated right, and that's why they are effectively rusting. And so that is an issue, as well as the overall fact that the car already has wide enough wheels, and we don't, now that it's lowered, we really don't need the spacers on there. This is just going to give the car, I think, a cleaner look, and there's less variable for shake and vibration. So we're just gonna take them off. So here's the actual spacer for the back. And this is made by a company called DSX. And I'm looking at it right now, and actually the entire spacer is beginning to rust, which tells me this is just a cheap spacer. And so, yeah, we don't want this anywhere near our car. The only reason I have this spacer on my car is I was looking for a 12.5-inch option in the back, and I couldn't find anything. The ones that I have in front are 12.5-inch, and they're made by Ren, and I actually love those. Those are great, and we'll talk a little bit more about those. But these ones, these were, I was in a pinch, and so I just grabbed these, and I thought they were fine, but over time it's showing that there's a lot more wear. I've only had them on for like a month, not even. A lot of wear for just having them on for a month. So DSX, I do not recommend. Before we put this wheel back on, I'm just going to give this a little clean. I feel like those spacers kind of created some nastiness in here, and I just want to clean it up so the wheels have a little more freedom. And inside of the wheel too, just give it a good scrub down. Get any excess rust or debris that's caught in there. You should be good. Man, I'll tell you guys, it is so nice having a garage. I've actually owned this car for, I've had this car for what, a little over 2 years, and it's never been kept in a garage. And this is my first time actually having, ever in my life, having my own garage. So being a car enthusiast, I mean, you can imagine how good it feels to finally have your own garage. And I'm able to wash the car meticulously and then keep it clean. And I really do love just detailing my car and getting it very, very, very clean. But when you park it outside, it just really feels like it's a waste anytime you wash it. And I think that that's kind of demoralizing, and then you wash it less because you know it's just gonna get dirty again the next day. But having it in a garage, it's kind of opened up a whole new world to me, because now I'm getting really interested in detailing and products and techniques and finding out, you know, ceramic coating and all this stuff. So I think that that's gonna bring a cool element to this channel. And also just like, you know, not everyone, a lot of people on, some people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, some people on YouTube, they just have these big fancy garages, all this money, and it's like a giant garage and it's everything you want, but not all of us have that. So this is my opportunity to take a single smaller garage that's just big enough to put my car in, keep safe, and work on the car and film while the car is in here. But it allows me a chance to kind of see what a smaller garage can do. Like, what kind of potential does this little space have? And I think it's gonna be exciting. I've ordered some cool things for the garage, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, this spacer, this spacer's doing the exact same thing. So there's another important thing to note here. These spacers, they trap water in. And the water ends up just rusting and holding inside of the bore, which is bad for so many different reasons. And you can already see that it's starting to take a toll on my brakes. And the other company, Ren, and I'm gonna show you guys an example, they have cutouts in the spacers. That allows the water to breathe out, to drip out, to just funnel out of the actual wheel bore or center bore. And I just think that that's a really important aspect to look at when you're buying these spacers, because you don't want water to just get trapped in there and then just rust and you know, essentially just seize this to your wheel, to your brakes. So that's just another thing here. Let's see. Anytime I take my wheels off, I always check for nails just to make sure, because it's very easy to have a nail in your tire and not even realize it. So I just give it a once over. It looks like we're good. Just like I did the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and clean my face off because I'm drenched, and kind of just give this a rub down. There's just a lot of stuff built up here, and I don't want my brakes to all rub down here. Man, these are new brakes. I want them to look shiny. They're already looking so beat up. I gotta do like a day where I just get in here and just really clean everything inside of in the underbody and inside of the suspension. Now that I'm parking this car inside, I want to get it in really good shape. And you know, I thought about it for a while, and I was like, man, I could just keep adding parts to the car, but I really want to kind of like rehab this F30 back to life, because it's in rough shape. I mean, it's a northern car, came from Wisconsin, it sat in snow and salt for half of the year every year for its whole life, and it could just use a lot of TLC. And so I'm going to be focusing, I'm still going to be adding mods to it here and there, but I'm also going to be doing some repainting on parts and recoating and just rehabbing things that could have potentially gotten damaged by sitting outside in the snow and salt. And you know, not too long ago I had my e-brake My e-brake internals malfunctioned, and they failed actually because of they were so rusted. And so I had to replace all that, and that's because it's a northern car, and these are all the things that I kind of just want to nip in the bud now, because I really don't, I don't plan on selling this car. I love this car. Even if I get another car, I'm not going to sell this car, because I really like this car, and I want to be able to mod it for a very long time, just hold on to it. I take really good care of it, so. Anyways, it's enough of me ranting. Someday I'll have an air compressor, power tools. You know, I grew up working on Hondas, and I grew up working on them in, you know, in a very small garage while I was in college, very dirty, and this is kind of like full circle for me now that I'm in a garage again and I'm working on my car. I mean, all the other parts that I've done on this car I've done outside in a driveway or a parking structure or a parking lot or whatever. So, I mean, I really am excited about having a garage now. But it is full circle. I grew up working on Hondas and doing engine swaps in garages far dirtier than this one and far smaller. And I don't know, it's just a cool feeling to finally be back working on my car in a proper garage that I can call my own and I can invest in and buy some nice equipment and tools. And I already started buying some stuff from Target, and I'm feeling good about the progress. I'm gonna obviously torque these before I'll let you guys freak out. I have a torque wrench. So I got the torque wrench here. Does anyone know what the F30 BMW torque specs are for lug nuts? From what I understand, they are between 110 and 120. So we're going to say 115. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong about that. So you want to do these in a star pattern too when you tighten them. I guess I'm kind of fortunate that I grew up working on cars so young, because now that, and I stepped away from the whole car thing for a while, but now that I'm a bit older and I'm getting back into it, I'm finding that a lot of that knowledge that I built up when I was younger, it's all stuff that I'm using now. And I don't know, just kind of the basics that you don't really want to take for granted. So, let's see how to do that one. So, and it's exciting because now, you know, I'm not working on Hondas, I'm working on a BMW, and it's a lot more car than the Honda was. So, it just makes it more fun, you know? Just makes it more fun. All right, so, yeah, I'm really glad that I took those off. It's sitting so flush and perfect now. That was exactly what needed to happen. Those spacers had to come off. It's perfect now. The front, I'm gonna leave the front spacers on. It's got almost the exact same fitment as the back now, which is great. So, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. Just perfectly even. Car looks a little high because anytime you jack it up, it'll take a minute for the springs to settle back down. But that was what we, that was exactly what we needed to have happen there. Car looks much, much better. And I bet you anything, it's going to drive better too. So the spacers I'm using on the front are by Ren Motorsports. And if you look where I'm pointing the camera, there's a little slot. And there's multiple slots throughout the spacer. And what that's allowing it to do is relieve moisture from getting caught in the bore. And that was something that the other spacers weren't doing. So I just wanted to point that out. Kind of something that you want to look out for when you're in the market for spacers. So I just wanted to show you guys the fitment outside. Butter. Perfect. Fitment up front. Do the fitment in back. Not too shabby. Well, we know one thing, this garage is very well insulated because it is hot in here. I think that's gonna be nice. That'll be nice for the winter though. So I need to go buy a fan. But yeah, so the next video is gonna be me working on the floors in here. I actually got some tiling. I mean, it's not so much tiling, it's like plastic sheets that you lay down. I'll show you guys so that you'll see it all. But I think it'll be better for working on cars and whatnot, and it'll look cool. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Please do subscribe, like, and comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later.